I'm just a middle-class white boy looking for a savior. Outrageous. How am I going to do this, dude? Do I want to go off? No, I don't want to go off. I do want to go off, but I shouldn't go off. Let's see, I'm sporting Life Rips Crystalia right here. Sorry to break your heart strong, guys. I've got kettlebells. Sorry to break your heart strong, guys. If you get that reference, I love you. If not, congratulations. I want to open up today's pod just man to man here. I want to go 4 minutes. Call it Phillips 4, whatever you want to call it. Crazy day yesterday. Crazy week in the NFL. Got the Henry Ruggs thing, Derrick Henry, a bunch of stuff. All of the upsets yesterday. Nothing more important, nothing bigger than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers went on Pat McAfee's show, gave a 40-minute conversation, a rebuttal to everything he had been reading about him over the couple days since testing positive. I'm not going to get into any vaccine talk. That's not what I'm here to do. It's not my job. It's not my place. I don't know. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know, but unfortunately, a lot of people don't like to admit they don't know. So I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about Uttar Pradesh, a state in India that's got 250 million people that introduced a prophylactic and early treatment protocol of ivermectin that only has 6% fully vaccinated and now has declared themselves COVID-free. I'm not going to talk about that. Okay? I'm not going to talk about 70% of people in the hospital being obese. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about 95% of deaths having an average of 4 comorbidities. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about 84% of people in the ICU being deficient in vitamin D. I'm not going to talk about it. However, I do just want to talk about the media story that was. I find myself in this paradox all the time where I'm getting into this media space, this media environment. I'm trying to. And yet I think so much of it is so shitty. I think the way that we cover topics in sports and politics and everything is so stupid. And it's so unnuanced. Doesn't sound right, but let's roll with it. Aaron gave a 40-minute long explanation that if you sit down and listen does not sound crazy. Maybe you disagree, but he doesn't sound crazy. And believe me, I lived with a crazy. I know what that sounds like. I have questions for Aaron. And I wish that we can just have an environment where you don't have to go online and just read a headline that says, Aaron Rodgers says he didn't lie, goes on anti-vax rant, got medical advice from Joe Rogan. No, maybe Joe's his friend who he called to see how he got through it, when he had it just a month or 2 months ago. He has a fucking medical team. Of course he's not taking his fucking medical advice from Joe Rogan. But I'm just a middle-class white boy. What do I know? My favorite part of this new media landscape that is emerging and is taking over, and it will take over because it is the better form of media, is this long-form format that Pat McAfee provides, that Joe Rogan provides, that a lot more people are providing, and is becoming more popular to people who really care. I would love Pat, and Pat handled that great. He let him just go. He said, I've got a lot of my own research to do because there's a lot of people that are going to be very pissed off at me for not asking certain questions. So I hope he asks those questions. I hope instead of just demonizing Aaron Rodgers, saying I'm not a fan of him anymore, he should not be allowed in the NFL. Let's have a discussion about this thing, man. Let's ask questions for Aaron. I have one about the allergy that he said caused him to not take either of the mRNA vaccines. I read, and this could be wrong, but that's why I want to ask, and I want to hear just an answer. I don't want to demonize him. I want to ask. I read that there's no one common ingredient in every type of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine. And they have multiple ones of each vaccine that people can take if you're allergic. I want to know that. I want to ask him that. I want to ask for his response to the league saying that he did not get told by a league doctor that vaccinated people can't spread it and can't get it. Because if a doctor said that, that's blasphemous. They said they didn't say that. They said they tried to meet with him. And he said no. He says it's vice versa. Here we go. I tend to hesitate on it, believing anything the NFL says, because NFL has lied many times. Aaron said his medical team gathered a report of 500 research papers, from mask wearing to the efficacy of antibodies over a certain amount of time to all of this research or whatever, to Explain his point. Let's see it, dude. Let's see it. Let's see that 500. You say I want to keep it between me and my doctor. Okay, that's your right. Whatever. I respect that. But if you're as upset as you are for getting misconstrued in the way that you are, I know that you could do everything in your power and they will still misconstrue you, because if you don't go with somebody's narrative, then they will for sure try to just bury you and bury the narrative rather than bring yours up, prove it wrong with their own backing. Let's see the report, dude. Go back on Pat McAfee show, and maybe you did today. By the time I release this, he's going to be, I believe, on Pat McAfee show again today, and I'm sure they'll get into it again. But let's see that report. Let's see. I want to have the conversation, man. I'm so... Dude, fuck these notes. I'm so tired of this last fucking year, dude. These last 2 years. Anytime you have a differing opinion, you just get shut the fuck down immediately. And that is so goddamn annoying, because I have questions. And I hate getting made out to feel like a piece of shit because I have questions. Questions that I wish that Aaron and one of his doctors and Dr. fucking Fauci could sit down at a table and broadcast it to the whole fucking world on ABC, a 3-hour conversation about Aaron's problems with either the vaccine or protocols or whatever, the strongholding of the NFL trying to just pressure guys into getting it, and Fauci giving back his research that he probably texted someone and emailed someone 8 months ago contradicting, but it's okay. I want to hear it, dude. I want to hear it. I see stories now, and I start to play in my head how it's going to turn out. That's why as soon as I saw online that A-Rod had gone on Pat McAfee show and defended himself and thrown Joe Rogan in, oh, boy, you throw Joe Rogan in, that's like fucking triggers for people. I don't know why. It's because they're scared of, again, any nuanced conversations and any differing opinions. But I saw how it was going to play out, and it played out the same way Kyrie played out. Now, Kyrie has been out there. Kyrie has been, for years, out there. Aaron's a very intelligent, articulate person who I believe will sit down and have a conversation. We all need that conversation, not just for this topic, but for an example of something to set going forward. Let's bring people together, have conversations. I have to try to think around when I hear people who have these blatant, at some point, like this last weekend, you come out and say I'm a fucking middle-class white boy looking for a savior, and that's why I listen to Joe Rogan, who's, quote, obviously an idiot. You're a lost cause, so that's tough to deal with. But for people who are willing to have an open mind about things, this is definitely going more than 4 minutes. The people who are willing to have an open mind about those things, you gotta not tell them to do something. They have to do this, and this is why. You got to let them see it themselves, man. You got to let them see it themselves. We have a natural instinct to push back when someone's telling us what to do, all the way back to when we were fucking 8 years old and our room was dirty and our parents told us to clean it. We didn't do it. I don't know where I'm going with this, man. I find it fascinating. I'm just fascinated by the whole thing. I'm grateful I live where I live and work where I work. The biggest thing Aaron said in that interview that I took away from our players 54 through 60 and guys on the practice squads who feel like they have to do this right now in order to keep their dream alive, in order to possibly have a job, to not be on the streets, to not be completely lost with their lives. I never thought about that in this whole situation with the NFL and vaccination protocols and whatnot. And I feel for them. I feel for everybody right now. I feel for people who are scared to get something, who are scared of catching something, who are scared of losing their job, who are scared of not being protected. I empathize and sympathize with everybody. What I hate is how we get made to think certain things and how poor our communication. I've learned this last year how poor my communication is. Boy, it is a countrywide problem. So let's fix the communication. Let's get Aaron on JRE, baby. Let's get him on the fucking ABC News, a 3-hour talk with Fauci right across table to table, mano y mano. Then if they're still disagreeing, then let's fucking get him in the boxing ring. Why not? I just saw Frank Gore and Darren Williams are fighting each other. What the fuck? What kind of world are we living in? All right, that's it for me. Life fucking rips. I love you guys. All right, let's get to the pot. Let's get to it, baby. All right. Also, I hate the Cowboys. All right, see ya. Peace.
Are you vaccinated?
I'm immunized. I'm immunized.
We can talk about the dicey shit now, so you can cut it out while we're getting set up.
Listen, I just think that if you don't watch Joe Rogan, then you shouldn't talk about him.
No, listen. I just think that if you listen to Joe Rogan, you're kind of middle class. You're kind of
You're probably a middle class white boy looking for a savior.
And it's like you're not educated because Joe Rogan isn't educated, so you're
not.
kind of a middle class, kind of poor, kind of a
I'm
scumbag.
I'm not an upper class white boy. Okay, don't get me all fired up on that.
I'm just trying to stir the pot a little.
What a cuck.
I heard a lot. I was on Twitter, like, looking at that Pat McAfee thing after we, like, saw that it was trending, and, like, people were, like, laughing about him talking to Rogan.
Well, they think he's taking medical advice from Rogan.
Yeah.
Like, if I wanted to Google Joe Rogan and then Google Aaron Rodgers just to see what the headlines were, because I knew what they would take that into and what they would make it into.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, it's like Aaron Rodgers' anti-vax rant, comma, getting medical advice from Joe Rogan. It's like, no, he said he has a team and they have over 500 research papers. And
there was, because we watched the full thing in its entirety, like what he said, and you can take
what percentage of people who do you think are talking about it have watched the full 41 minutes or whatever it is?
I'm sure people watched 10 minutes and thought they got the gist of it or read a transcript, but I saw like blatant, like putting two sentences together and mashing them up, and like it was pretty, like, you can have your own opinions about it, and I understand if you feel like he's still wrong. Like, I'm not gonna, okay, that's fine, but you have to quote him how he said it. You don't just tear apart sentences. Like, come on, dude.
All right, this will be just what I say about it in general. I have no opinions. I have a lot of opinions. I try to empathize with everybody, and I never thought about it till he said it. Not guys 1 through 53, but guys 54 through 90. 54 through 60.
Yeah.
Who feel like they have to get it because teams, that's like a non-starter. If you're debatable, if you're like a fringe player, they don't want to have to deal with you not being vaccinated. Whether that's right or wrong, who cares? But those guys are just going to get thrown by the wayside. So they feel they have to get it to even just have a chance, which is unfortunately like a lot of other people and a lot of other jobs. And these are guys, young 22, 21-year-old guys just coming out of college, like, that if they don't do that and then this dream is over, unfortunately, like, there are like a lot of them who don't really know what they're going to fucking do with their lives. So now they're just lost and they feel like they have to do this thing to their body. And that part, I feel bad for them. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's just fucking start with the obvious.
First word that comes to mind that you want to say, just say it. First word. Okay. Okay.
But second word is
shock, confusion, denial.
I told Bethany when we were downstairs this morning, and this is the first time this week where I wasn't worried. I've learned over the years, no matter what the situation, any game, be worried. Going against the Eagles this year, they're horrible. Be worried, then we kill them. Giants, we kill them, but still worried always. Came into this game not worried at all. And I told her, usually that means they're going to blow it. They haven't beaten the Broncos since, I think it was 1995. Literally, since I've been born, they haven't beaten. They play them rarely.
Yeah, it's like every 4 or 8 years or something.
That was one of, you know how like you've watched your team enough over the years that you pick it up pretty early, what type of game it's going to be at least.
Oh, absolutely.
So like we go for it on the first drive, don't get the fourth down. You're like, okay, whatever. Then we get a stop. All right, we're going to get the ball right back, put up 7, get in control. Go for it again on fourth, don't get it. Okay. They run the ball like crazy on us, known and seen, which is a problem. The reason it hasn't been exposed is because most of the time we're getting up 21-0 on teams, and they just are forced to throw it, which has been my argument to Trayvon, having the most yards. Most teams, we've been thrown on more than any team in the league because we've had the lead for the longest amount of time, other than the Cardinals coming into today. And, of course, everyone blows it up about Trayvon. Here's my thing with Trayvon. He's ultra aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to give up big plays.
Bites a little too hard.
Bites a little on double moves. But that's why he has 7 interceptions.
And those turnovers are huge.
That's why he had the most interceptions through 6 games than anyone in the league ever, other than Rod Woodson. So Eric says he's just Marcus Peters. I'll take Marcus Peters. I've had to watch Morris Claiborne and a Byron Jones who had 4 career interceptions. Dude, it's really weird to say, but like when you have games where you play as shitty as they did today, you're kind of dead inside.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
you're
yeah.
watching, but like I'm not going to turn it off. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to take every single punch. And like every stop we get, it's like you keep telling yourself, all right, it's 3 possessions. We just do score 4 minutes, get a quick 3 and out, and make it. But then we just keep making the mistakes.
They were just in Dak's face, dude. They
In
were
his
just
face,
in his
rushing
fucking grill
3. They would rush
all
3
game.
and get. And their offensive line was moving us, playing with 2 backup tackles, and they had another tackle go down, and they lost a guard. They had 4 linebackers out.
It's just one of those
Literally
games,
everything.
dude.
We could not do anything. But then the muffed punt
Yeah.
that I didn't even have never seen a play like that, where I really thought game was turning, and obviously, of course it was. It was 16-0, and they get the ball. They're gonna have the ball inside the 30, and like if we put up a quick score, then it's a 1 possession game. They don't get that, and then they just go down the field, and of course they don't score as many. We hold them to field goals, but it just. I'm telling myself that it was a back to reality game. It's kind of good to get kicked in the ass. Like I'm not too worried because like I know that's not us.
And you're 6-2.
How'd you feel? You felt. I know how you felt. I know exactly how you felt.
Say my name.
Go get it,
Hey.
Go off. You know, man,
What was that like?
it's not very often you see a Chargers game winner via the kick.
Were you fine with the 4th and 1 sneak there, or because it would have been a 45-yard attempt? Obviously, you're fine with it because it worked, but
So they like let it run down, took the last time out, and for a minute I thought, okay, I mean, we'll go to OT, and then I was kind of okay with it. I mean, he missed that extra point, but he's got a leg and he's done it before. He can win games. But I love the 4th down aggression this year. I would love to know exactly how many times we've tried to go for it on 4th down.
yeah, it's got to be the most by far.
The defense is just, I was telling Big Mike down there today, we're not contenders this year, you know? We
Don't
need
say
to
that.
fill.
I'll tell you what, if there's a reason that you guys are still in it, and it's kind of the theme of the day, the theme of the last 2 weeks, and really the theme of this whole year, is we're going into week 10 now, and I don't know who the favorite is. Kyler already out with a sprained ankle. It's only week 10. He just takes hits that make me uncomfortable. We'll all still say the Bucs are still the favorite. Like I think they would, they could go into the playoffs as a wild card team somehow and somehow be 10-7, and it still would be hard to pick someone if there's not a clear favorite over them. Yeah. But I mean, you look at the Rams. We're taping this right now at 6:57. It's probably just starting the second half, and they're down 3 scores to the Titans without Henry. If Kyler can stay healthy, then I have them right there with the Bucs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right there with the Bucs.
I think it's going to be
I'm
a
just
very
so
interesting
hesitant
race.
on that. That's like me wondering if Anthony Davis is going to be healthy come playoff time. The Bills. What happened to the fucking Bills today?
I don't know, dude. I really don't know. I wish I
How
could
the fuck
tell
did
ya.
they lose? I honestly didn't even see much of it, and it wasn't on red zone much either because it was 9-6. Why was the best Josh Allen on defense?
I wonder, you talked about the high horse today and like riding high. Maybe they just went in there thinking this is Jacksonville.
The first drive, turnover on downs, fumble, punt, interception, punt, field goal. Like, this is the fucking Jacksonville. One of the worst defense, if not one of the 5 worst defenses in the entire league. And we're putting up 6 points. So then we go to the Chiefs, because we still have to come back to the Chiefs all the time, no matter what their record is. They didn't look very impressive against the Packers. They should have taken that Aaron Rodgers being on the COVID list and used it to like give us a statement that they like are contenders. And then the Ravens win, but they're losing 90% of the game to the Vikings, who are like,
The Vikings
okay.
are weird, dude. I don't know.
Well, they play good and they almost win as soon as you're talking the most shit about them, and then that gives you the confidence to then be
You're
like,
like,
oh,
oh,
they might be kind of good. And then
Kirk?
they
And
lose
then-
to Cooper Rush.
And then Kirk's.
2 weeks ago, it was the Bengals. We had the conversation 2 weeks ago.
Hey,
The
this
Bengals
team.
I think this is their year, where I think we were more right, like about a month and a half ago, when we said this is for sure not the Bengals of old that are going to be.
No, it's a new age.
It's
team.
a new age, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
also not a 1 seed age. It's also not a
No.
2 seed.
They're in the hunt.
They're in the hunt, but they get fucking mollywopped today.
Yeah, dude.
And Baker looks great today.
That's what I'm saying. It's just any given Sunday. One day, the fucking Jaguars are like, you know what? Fuck the Bills. We're holding them to 6.
Especially in the AFC. I mean, what's the best record in the AFC right now? A 6-2 Ravens team and a 6 and I guess we're gonna have to say the Titans
Hey, man.
if they go into SoFi and beat the Rams.
That's statement.
But then how? But they still don't have Henry.
Yeah, that's why right now, as we record this and as Henry's hurt, it's like, okay, they're good, best record, and like obviously they can win games, but you don't have your fucking guy. Like, you need your guy.
Where are the Pats in the race in the AFC East?
They're kind of going.
They're
kind of going,
They're playing
dude.
better.
They're kind of going.
They're playing better. We're not going to talk about Sam Darnold. We're just not going to talk about it.
Yeah,
but
man.
they went into
Wait, whoa,
We're just not going to talk about it.
Let's check on the stock.
We're
Where's
not
the
talking
stock
about
at, dude?
No,
Come on.
I'm canceling them. I'm canceling them.
Okay.
I don't know about the Steelers either.
And
I don't know about the Colts because the Colts look better and better, but they started 1-4, but those 1-4 were like to really good teams that they barely lost to. The Ravens by 5 and the Rams by 3. The Titans they've lost to twice by a combined like 8 points.
It's gonna be an interesting final half of the season.
Your division is all kinds of clusterfucked. The Broncos, I mean, it's between first and last. There's one game.
Yep.
The Packers, I guess, when A-Rod comes back, still 7-2, and they're still in control in their division. But like, who knows with him the rest of the year now? You know, this is going to be a story the whole rest of the season.
I want the Packers to go to the bowl, win one more. Aaron Rodgers retires and lives a happy life hosting Jeopardy.
Oh, they for sure won't let him host Jeopardy now.
Oh, come on. Give me a fucking break, dude. He's standing on the other side of the thing.
But
no.
they're corporate people. They're going to... Dude, he's anti-vax
corporate
now.
He's fucking
Kyrie.
ass, dude. No, he's
Kyrie.
Not.
He's...
No.
I'm telling you what they think he is now. They think he's Alex Jones.
And I hate it. And I'm not there for it.
Unfortunately,
and I
we don't hire the Jeopardy host. So if we can get popular enough on here and have enough
what,
followers,
Jeopardy?
maybe he'll come host.
Fuck you, Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, you have a seat right here next to us. We'll have you on.
Yeah. I'm looking at the rest of the Saints. Saints are just out. They're out now because you're dealing with
They're out
Simeon,
now.
and unless they're going to pull some miracle, like they should be bringing in Cam.
The problem with Cam is that, and whether or not I agree, he wants too much.
What does want too much mean?
Like, he won't accept a veteran's minimum. Isn't it? It's like only like 800K or something, or like 900. Like, it's...
Yeah. So pay him a
He
few
wants,
million.
He wants like
Just make an incentive.
1.5.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I would bring him in. Why
yeah.
not? Why not? Your season's down the shitter anyway. What,
Yeah.
Simeon? Simeon and fucking Taysom Hill?
No, not at all. It's still Rams, Cardinals, Bucks right at the top. Cowboys, again, before this week, looked dominant, but then we saw today they're clearly beatable. So I just don't know. I have no idea what's going on, and it's very unsettling. I don't like it.
Give
It's
it
great.
5 or 6 more weeks, and we'll be saying the same thing.
Well, now
is
we got the
this
extra
team
week.
in the play? Yeah.
How do we account for that? I feels like that it's only one more week, but it feels like it's going to be such an important extra week.
You
now.
could literally knock. Yeah.
Anything else that you wanted to hit from today's games? A huge Falcons win, dude. 4-4. Like, we're talking all the shit on the Falcons, and they're 4-4.
Cordero Patterson? Where did he come from? He came from irrelevancy, dude.
Yeah,
I
this is
thought
a
he
whole
was on
thing
his
in
way
our
out.
group chat that Eric is saying he's a top 10 back.
He's not a top 10 back, but he's a top.
Fantasy back.
Okay.
Which
Yeah,
you just
that's
have to go by
fine.
the numbers. He is.
By the numbers, yes.
It's usually from
and
these random ass big plays.
it's not that I don't think he's top 10. It's that he's not like one position. Like, he'll go out there and fucking catch a pass or run the ball down your throat. He's like a top something weapon or player in general.
That Browns Bengals game, dude. The Browns looked so dominant, and for a while they weren't even running the ball really well. Baker's also just annoying as fuck. He looks great in these games when he gets protection and shit, and then as soon as you give any confidence into him, he's like Kirk Cousins, but just with more quote unquote swag.
Yeah. A little more like, I'm running up and down the field.
Guess I like the Ravens the most in that division, but I'm just to the feeling with the Ravens now, almost like I am with like the fucking Utah Jazz with Lamar, where it's like, I know what I'm going to get in the regular season, and I know mostly the type of Lamar that I'm going to get in the regular season, but come December, come January, it's a few years now where teams play him better, and come playoff time, it just gets a lot harder. So I'm always going to have that kind of hesitancy in the back of my head, but...
Ooh, okay, one more thing. Tua. I was expecting to see some Tua today, and he was out again. And what did I say in the beginning of the season? He's got to stay healthy. He's not healthy.
Yeah, no, they're getting Deshaun.
Yeah. Is he a free agent after this season, or is he still going to be on contract for like a year or two?
Deshaun?
Yeah, because they signed him not too long ago.
He's on contract till like 25.
Yeah, okay.
But he'll be gone.
He'll be gone.
No.
Even
Unless
if
the Eagles get involved. The Eagles are going to have like 3 top 15 picks. Dude, I'm gonna flip my goddamn shit if the Titans, they're up 21-3.
I got the game on my left side here, so I'm keeping an eye out for anything.
Titans 21-3 over the Rams.
How are you feeling? I was kind of with you. I feel like I gave them a little more grace, but like you were like selling Titans
The
stock.
Titans?
Oh yeah.
Dude, we all were. There's
Yeah.
not one person who could tell me who's not from Tennessee that when Derrick Henry went down, because I was kind of starting to buy in again. Like if they're just gonna keep running and like they can run the ball and like
It was a matter of time with
they
his
can
health.
come back running the ball. Like they'll be down
Yes,
they'll be
dude.
down 2 scores and they'll keep running it and you're like that's not what you're supposed to do, and then they come back and they're in games.
It's just
I don't know.
running
Tonight's
backs,
blowing
dude.
my mind because I can't believe that without him. I mean, he's okay. So to see like Tannehill's 13 of 19 for 85 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Matt Stafford threw a pick six. He threw another. Did you see the first interception?
No, Mikey
Oh
told
my
me
God,
about.
dude.
Was that the pick six?
No, it was.
No, okay.
It was. I'll just say it was a Carson Wentz pick. He was about to get tackled in the end zone for a safety, and then he was getting spun around, and he went to go throw it away at the last second, and he literally threw it as he was spinning, and it just went boop, right into the fucking linebacker's hands. Just no one in sight, and he got to like the 1 yard line, and they scored. So I mean, this game is 21-3, but that and then literally the next pick or next play, he threw a pick six. So this game shouldn't even be 21-3, but regardless, it's 21-3. I'll tell you what, dude, the Patriots, they've won 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5, and that only loss was the Cowboy game that they probably
They're scary,
should have
dude.
won or very easily could have won.
It's kind of a scary team.
Honestly, yeah.
It's just Bill.
Yeah.
It's just
But even
Bill.
like, there's no way come playoff time Mac is like.
No, but next season.
Yeah, no.
you
Yeah,
never
no, for
know.
sure. I feel like I'm not prepared. I feel like I just don't feel good about this. And
I had a weird feeling today because like school and whatnot and a big loss. I was like, I wonder if he's like.
these last fucking 3 weeks have just been
We've been out and about,
a
man.
lot. Yeah. All right, I guess let's just go into fucking week 10. Week 10, dude.
Week 10 already flies by. What are we gonna do once football season's over?
It's always depressing. And then we got free agency and the draft, so it always fucking keeps going. But
I'm really.
luckily our
excited for
teams
this
are in
free
it, so at least we're not. It's not like the season is going to be necessarily over. Hopefully by
Yeah,
January.
it's not like we're like Seahawks fans. Like once the regular season's over, like no playoffs, nothing. Like
Well, who knows, dude? Even the
hey
Hawks
man,
now,
you
dude.
never know. I just like stirring the pot.
No, well, it depends if A-Rod can come back and play, then. But the first day that he can clear is this Saturday, so I don't know if they're gonna let him clear and then just go straight to. He literally says he's fine already.
Mhm.
Nobody liked to talk about, just like with Joe when Joe came out and said everything he had been taking. They liked to really hammer everything he had been taking. Nobody liked to say 2 days went by and he felt better. A-Rod said the same thing. Thursday, we're kicking off with a fantastic Ravens-Dolphins matchup in Miami.
I know. We got a red wash here.
7.5 points. That's probably a fucking whooping. Usually the Ravens do some whooping on bad teams. I'll take 7.5.
Yeah, I'm
I like 7.5.
I'm okay with that.
Jags, Colts. The Colts again. I like the Colts. If the Colts could sneak in, I could so see them being like a wild card team that ends up in a championship game. Talk about someone that's
every
looked better.
Week Carson gets comfortable and comfortable, and he stays healthy. Him and Frank Reich, like what was I saying when they were 0-4 or whatever? They were doing really shitty.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank Reich, he starts out slow. And this has been kind of a trend with him. I was reading it in our analytics thing. They start slow.
10.5. They're favored by against the Jags.
Yeah, yep. I'm not gonna argue with that.
Really? I might.
I don't know.
The Jags play people tough the last few weeks.
They play tough and they put up fights.
I'll take 10.5 though.
Okay.
Yeah. You want Colts? By
Yeah,
11?
yeah.
Okay.
I'll take that bet.
Starting this week, we're keeping track
Of if we're right or wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
We need to just go back and
no.
sift through. We
Nope.
need an assistant.
Yeah.
We should hire Greg for free.
Browns. This is a good one. Browns are in
Ooh.
New England.
Dare I blue wash? Dare I say gold wash? Just because we like the Pats.
Big game.
Big game.
It's starting to get into the next week. I'm gonna learn. I will know by this time next week who the Cowboys are by how they respond and play Atlanta next week. This Browns Pats game, I'm not gonna be out on either of them, but that's gonna tell a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Two teams that run the ball really well, play good defense, have quarterbacks who you like but don't love.
Old school game. Game managing quarterbacks. Good run game.
New England at home, favored by 2. Who do you got?
New England. I was just gonna ask if it's around 2
Yeah.
or 2 or 3 at least. I like New England in that though.
The Falcons Cowboys. Cowboys are favored by 9.5 at home.
9.5. What's the protocol for like going a bit lower? Because like 9.5 is, or do you just say like no, I don't like that?
What do you mean?
Like, cause I don't think it's gonna be 9.5. I think the Cowboys will probably take care of business.
So
but
then
I could see
you
it
would take the Falcons in the points.
Okay, because I can see the Cowboys handling business fairly easily. Maybe I like them by like maybe a touchdown or could come down to a field
We're gonna
goal.
come out and win by fucking 30 points next week.
Hey man, good for you, man.
And if we don't, dude, if we lose to the Falcons next week,
then you gotta ask.
this is gonna be an expletive laced episode.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have some things to say.
I feel like we've been good about expletives lately too.
I would like to think so. The Bills are in New York to play the Jets of New York.
Well, you know what? Start Mike White, and maybe I'll just bet against the Bills just for that upset. Look at them today. Anything's possible.
The 13.5 points is kind of a lot, considering they scored 6, but they'll probably come out and destroy them.
Give me
Is
the
that
Jets.
2 in a row, isn't it? Isn't that 2 in a row, Bills? I'll take the 13.5. I say they beat them by quite a bit.
Okay, so they lost to the Titans, beat the Dolphins, lost to the Jaguars. So
Right,
there's a
but that
win
was
in
an
between.
ugly Dolphins win.
We'll see.
Tampa and Washington. 9.5. Tampa favorite in Washington.
Yeah,
It's gonna start getting cold.
Washington is not what we thought it was though. Tom Brady
Is he
lives
gonna
in
start
the cold. He
yeah.
eats the cold for breakfast, dude. He
He's
played in
getting
New
older.
England.
Is he gonna
Oh
start
man,
stiffening up a little bit?
nah, man.
Those
He'll get.
hits?
He's
Chase
got, dude.
Young?
He's got like that LeBron treatment for his body. 12 dudes in there massaging him.
Give me Tampa in Washington.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you.
Lions are 8.5 point dogs in Pittsburgh. 8.5. I don't really like.
The Lions are scrappy.
They're scrappy.
They're scrappy against like a Steelers team that's like, okay, you got a good defense, but like,
And again, I say cold weather time. Ben, talk about stiffening up. Like Ben.
that was my main argument. Like, come playoff time, those December games.
And he's had. I know he hasn't thrown many picks in the last handful of games, and that's been why they've been winning. But he has thrown some turnover-worthy balls.
Oh yeah,
He still makes some questionable decisions.
he's just getting away with it a little bit more.
Yeah, and they're able to run the ball better a lot the last few weeks, and Najee's been playing out of his mind. So
If they had a good O line, we could be singing a different tune.
really,
Give the old
seriously, for sure.
bastard some time to. Fucking
Yeah, Minnesota coming to your house.
I think it's gonna be gross, honestly.
You guys are a 2.5 point favorite. I like the 2.5.
I like 2.5 too
'Cause I like
because
the
I
field
think
goal.
the Vikings can get kind of scrappy and like they're in games. I mean, whether or not they capitalize and win it or not is another story, but they are in games.
For sure. I like the 2.5. I'll take it.
I'll take it too.
The Eagles are in Denver in a gross game.
Yeah, that's gonna be very gross. Yeah. I'll take Denver.
I'll take Philly. Fuck you, Avery.
I'm just not an Eagles truther.
Me neither. But they put up points. That's the thing.
They put up points,
But
but
they give up points. Yeah, and the Denver D is really good. All right, I change it. I'll take the Broncos. Final game. Monday night. Not Monday night. Sunday night.
yes,
I don't have the Monday night game on here.
I do.
Okay. Chiefs are in Vegas.
I almost said Oakland.
2.5 points favorites. 2.5 point favorites.
This is gonna be a pretty telling game.
For real, because the Chiefs still did not look good at all. And the Raiders didn't look good, but like they looked like the Raiders.
The Raiders kind of, it's an AFC West thing for sure, but the Chiefs and the Chargers and the Raiders kind of have the Chiefs number. Like we're right there with them most of the game. It's not like this big like, oh, it's Patrick Mahomes, you're fucked. We
Yeah.
just play him so often. We just know what's going on.
I will take the Raiders.
I'll take the Raiders because fuck it, you know. Fuck the Raiders.
I'll take
but
the 2.5
fuck the
points,
Chiefs.
but I think they're gonna win too.
Fuck them both. Tie.
So-
I'd like a tie. Looks
Best case.
ugly. It looks ugly on like the. You got 5, 4, and 1. Ah, give me a break. It's fugly.
I have a 5-leg parlay on the side over here. Chargers money line versus the Vikings. Cowboys by 9.5 against the Falcons. Broncos just to beat the Eagles. The Raiders just to beat the Chiefs. And the Patriots just to beat the Browns. $10
I like that.
to pay out.
$2.75.
$2.11.
Woo! Here
Not
we
bad.
fucking go.
Yeah, not bad. That's not a bad $10 bet.
Not at all, dude.
Yeah.
And that's pretty realistic. Like, the only thing I think that might get you fucked up is that Eagle game.
Yeah, well, I'm
I
sure
just feel like that
fucking
could
four
just-
of them will get wrong because
Because why not? But that I like it.
Let me just spitball teams out there and tell me, or you tell me, who are your 3 favorite teams in the AFC?
That I think are
if the
gone?
playoffs started today.
Okay.
No, give me your AFC championship today, and give me your NFC championship
My
today.
AFC championship today.
Yes. It's so hard to say the Bills.
I want to say the Bills.
I'll still say the Bills as well.
Derrick Henry is the reason that I can't see the Titans actually going.
He could be back playoff time. They said 6 to 10 weeks,
Yeah.
which happened a week ago. So
6
now
to
it's
10.
5
He'd
to
be
9.
Kind of
It would
pushing
be
it, though.
right around playoff time.
It'd be game time.
And also, that's a Jones fracture. Like, I don't know if people know what a Jones
It's-
fracture is. It's like, it's tough.
I like the Bills, though, and help me
Bills-
with this AFC, man. I'm not...
Bills Ravens.
Is Lamar... Are they going to make it that far, though? Like, that's the question. I mean,
But if they get the 1 seed, they just got to win 1 game at home.
Let's say Bills Ravens. Let's say it.
You'd have to say probably Bills Ravens or Bills Browns.
No, dude, come on,
I didn't
man.
even like that coming out of my mouth.
Trust me, I saw
Honestly.
their little fucking logo, and I was like, no, not yet. Sorry,
Yeah.
boys.
That is
AFC's tough. Do you want to say the Chiefs? The fact that
no.
neither
I
of
don't
us,
even want to now. I don't even by default. Like, part of me is like not like I think there's a better chance they lose in the wild card game than
I think a nice divisional loss would suit them.
yeah.
Like,
They better win. That division is going to be really important because if they have to go on the road to start, if they have to go on the road to Baltimore or Buffalo,
You have to establish the run in those colder
Yeah,
games,
yeah.
man. You
And
don't
you gotta
want to be
stop the
throwing
run.
it, man. Okay, let's just say Ravens, Bills,
okay. And now in the NFC, if you had to pick today,
and that's hard because there's so many. Bucks. Let's put the Bucks in there.
we probably want to say Bucks Cardinals.
Give me Bucks Rams, cause Kyler,
Yeah,
But-
give me Bucks Rams too.
Bucks Rams.
Cardinals really fucked up the Rams when they played, but
I do want to
he
say the
still
Cardinals,
normally has
though.
their number.
I do want to say the Cardinals. I really didn't. I don't want to just hop into this like bias, like recency bias, but Cardinals, man, they just beat a team without their starting quarterback. Like,
I
come
know,
on.
but I mean, we just did that a week ago, and then we just came out and looked like shit. Yeah,
I'll just say the Rams for now. I feel like that's a fair take.
yeah. Bottom line is we are
No shit.
uncomfortable,
Yeah,
and I feel like shit.
yeah.
That was very annoying.
Sleep on it. You don't got to work tomorrow.
No, I don't. Anything else?
Fuck the Raiders.
Fuck the Raiders. Fuck the Broncos.
Don't drink and drive. Call an Uber.
Please don't drink and drive. And also, do what the fuck you want with your body. Do what the fuck you want. All right. See ya. Let's go to state, man.
Yeah, let's go.